I'm tired. Why are we playing so early in the UK? I feel for everyone around the world that follows a club outside of their country where they have to stay up late or get up super early to watch the football. I really, really feel for you guys because that was rough. Staying up until pretty much 6 a.m. just to watch my beloved Arsenal, but it was worth it. 5-3. I mean, what a game. Absolutely everything. It wasn't a friendly, really, was it? It was so intense. And I've got to be honest, I've been watching some of the highlights of other games. I'm seeing Madrid, Manchester United. I'm seeing Chelsea, Newcastle. I'm seeing, obviously, the Arsenal United game. Really intense matches with some really strong challenges, unnecessary challenges. Martinez. I'm not sure I think it's a good idea, I'm not just saying that because it's, we lost to United or whatever. I'm just saying it in general. I'm not sure we should be playing big Premier League games or big European matchups like Arsenal-Barcelona because it's so intense and the competition is so fierce. It doesn't really feel like a friendly. But I guess the money's there. The clubs like to do this. They get a lot of income doing these pre-season tours. And I get it. If the players would just chill a little bit and all have a little handshake at the start of the game and say, you just take it easy, please. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think part of me feels like pre-season should be much more relaxed. But I guess it doesn't matter too much. As long as there's no injuries that go into the season. I mean, players are still going to pull up with muscle injuries, whatever. It's going to happen regardless of playing friendlies or not. Pre-season when players aren't fully fit, in training they are going to get little nicks and injuries, and it just happens, doesn't it? But what happened in this Barcelona game? What didn't happen? First of all, we need to talk about Trossard. I don't have any ratings here. I don't think we do pre-season ratings on FOTMob's website, but Trossard was by far man of the match. He was... Oh, no. Excuse me. He was absolutely incredible. Everywhere. He could have scored 4 goals. Like, genuinely blew me away. Trossard in that left wing, left 8, left centre forward, left forward, whatever you want to call it. The way he drifts in and he finds those little pockets of space, he's just so intelligent, and I love that about Leo. But I was thinking, why doesn't he excite me as much as some of the other players? Like, if Martinelli was doing this, I'd be losing my mind, right? Why is that? And I think it's because Leo is... Obviously, he's a bit older, let's face it. He's going to be 30 somewhat soon. But I think it's because he was almost a backup plan. We all know we wanted Mudryk. We all know that didn't pan out. Oh my God, hello Tilly. I've got a very loopy dog right now. So I guess it feels like he wasn't plan A and therefore it's not as exciting. But honestly, we need to get behind every player, regardless of why we signed them, how much we signed them for. What a player. Absolute baller. And this pre-season has been very impressive from him. Genuinely, I think he starts the first game of the season based on this form. Just incredible. Left wing or left 8. Centre forward. Technically, other than the goal that Jesus scored against the MLS All-Stars, which was obviously a very good goal, has he really done more than Trossard? But again, is Trossard going to be better in that role? Maybe not. It's an interesting one, isn't it? I think he's really put his name forward. He could potentially be a starter. But the next player I want to talk about is Timber. Oh my God. Timber at left back. I swear, it's as if he's been at the club for about 5 seasons. He has slotted in so well, and I'm so impressed. Again, I said it with Trossard, the intelligence. Timber is a smart player. And the fact that he said it himself, he's a right back, centre back, can go into midfield. He ain't a left back. What is going on there? And of course, with the system that we play, you can technically start at left back, but you're not really playing there. You drift into different positions. We shift the back line, whatever. And he was popping up into midfield every now and again. But genuinely, a lot of the play with Timber involved him on the touchline on that left side. So impressive. Against Barcelona, by the way, who okay, you look at their team, there's a few new signings in there, like Gundogan, great player, obviously, but still needs a bit of time to gel. Abde, I thought was brilliant. Romeo is a very strange signing in midfield. I just realised I'm not showing you the team. Hang on. Abde was really very good. Gundogan will obviously slot in eventually. Romeo's a weird signing, isn't it? Very strange signing, but I guess he's not going to be a starter, is he? Dest is obviously not going to be there for long. Alonso got absolutely bodied by Saka. But the fact that Timber's coming into this brand new team, it's just his third game, right? And he's playing out of position, and he's one of our best players. 38 million, by the way. I think Edu and co did so well to get that deal done. Let's talk about Ødegaard briefly as well, because I think he was at fault for 2 goals today. Or it was today, this morning. First of all, he lost the ball, which allowed Abde to run down and obviously cut it into the box. And that can happen, but I don't like how hard we got hit on the transition there. It does worry me a little bit when we've got, whether it's Ben White or whoever's playing at right back, so far into midfield or far up the pitch, because then if we do lose it like we did, just a sloppy little pass, we are under a bit of pressure there, aren't we? Okay, can deal with that. But what I don't like is the free kick that we conceded. So you've got, I think it was Trossard and it was Ødegaard in the wall. And the free kick wasn't exactly well struck. It wasn't going to go in, let's face it. But when you watch it back, and I urge you to go back and watch this because it does bother me. When you have a wall, what's the point of a wall when you're defending a free kick? It's to stop the ball. Very plain and simple. And what Ødegaard has done is he's turned his body to the right. And what that does is, yeah, okay, you can still block it, but you're opening it up to be, I guess, more of a deflection more than a block. It's deflecting on goal, potentially. He's turned to his right and it's hit his upper arm, I think. And obviously it's gone too far wide and Ramsdale was a bit wrong-footed. I don't like that. If you're going to be in the wall, you have to be brave and you have to stand square, I think. You can still have these issues. It could have hit his shoulder. It could have hit... It could have still gone in, is what I'm saying. But the way he's turned, you might as well not be in the wall because you're effectively making it more unpredictable. So I've got nothing, no bad words to say about Ødegaard in general, of course. He was our player of the year, for sure. But I'm not really a fan of walls that aren't solid, if that makes sense. Sound a bit like Trump. What did I want to talk about next? I mean, we could talk about the penalty. Saka on pens. I know it's pre-season and missing penalties, whilst it's not a good thing, you might as well do it in pre-season, but I'm not really feeling Saka on pens lately. He missed a huge one against West Ham in the title run-in, and obviously he's missed a few other famous penalties, one of them being for England, but I do find it very difficult reading people say that he shouldn't be taking them anymore, because you clearly have a player there in Saka that's very good at penalties. He's scored a lot, remember. He's probably taken, let's say he's taken 20 in his professional career. He's probably scored 17 of them, right? Maybe 16 of them. And taking a player off pens like that, I think, would do more harm than good. He just needs to take the next one and score it. And the reality is, it's very rare. I mean, we're talking 3 or 4 players that I can think of right now, one of them being Balotelli, that just has an unreal record with penalties. They're just insanely good at them. And I think if Jorginho's on the pitch, I put him on pens. But otherwise, stick with Saka. He's going to miss penalties, but he's also going to score a lot of them. And he's a young player that takes a lot of responsibility by, stepping up to take them. And I do appreciate that. We can talk about Havertz again. Once again, playing in that left centre mid role. He came off at half-time, which didn't surprise me. What did we think of his performance? I thought... Again, I can see it. I can see the potential is there. But I was worried seeing the lineup, although I guess you could say that against Barcelona, it feels like they've got less pace in that transition, although we conceded like that. But it didn't feel like it did against United, where we were so vulnerable with Havertz in there. It felt a little bit more solid tonight, and I think clearly Arteta's got on the training pitch with him and got him working on that a little bit to fill those spaces a little bit more efficiently and effectively. But his goal was really nice. He seems to be a bit of a back post poacher, doesn't he? Can we just appreciate Saka's run in that build-up around this area here up against Alonso? Completely floored Alonso. The strength that Saka's got. He's a strong little player, isn't he? I think he's still like 5'10" or something, but really good run from him. The little header from Ødegaard, which I think was an attempt on goal, and it's just fallen for Havertz. He's reacted really quickly, and that's his second goal in pre-season. So very happy with that. We should talk about Partey as well. Thought he was immense in midfield. You know, I don't want Arsenal to sell Partey, but I was always of the opinion that if we sell Partey to get a younger, better option, whether that was Rice or someone else with Rice, I was kind of all for it because Partey is one of the older players. But when you see a performance like that, Rice is obviously out with a tight calf or something. And that's something we need to talk about as well, because Declan Rice has never missed a game through injury for West Ham. It was illness, I believe. I read it somewhere. Like, he's been ill, and that's what he's missed a game. He's missed a game because of being ill, or a couple of games through illness. He hasn't really picked up any injuries in his career, and it's like, come on, within a week or two, he's already missing a game through injury. But I think it's just more of not taking a risk. It is just pre-season. And it could be he missed pre-season games before. I haven't looked into that. But it just goes to show that Rice wasn't available, no worries. Throw Partey in. Throw Jorginho on in the second half. We have options. But Partey was very impressive. And so was Smith Rowe. See, Smith Rowe it's a difficult one because he's now probably even further behind the first team with Havertz coming in. But he looked good. I thought he had a very good cameo. He looks fit. He looks sharp. He looks tall. I swear he's had this growth spurt. It's unbelievable. He's almost as tall as Partey now. And it does make me think that he could play deeper. I think Smith Rowe has a future, less so as a winger or, you know, an attacking number 10. You know, I almost see him doing what Trossard has been doing in the last few weeks, or what Havertz is doing now, just sitting in that kind of number 8 role. Oh, we've got some serious options, haven't we? We really have, and I thought he was great. Holding with the slip. Again, unfair criticism. Some legends have slipped. Okay, and this is pre-season. I think you're looking at Holding coming in a very high-intensity game. Maybe wasn't quite ready, and he's just slipped. And yes, we've conceded from it. Yes, we all know Holding isn't Saliba, Gabriel. I mean, I would argue that Kivior, Timber. I would actually put Rice and even maybe Partey into defence ahead of Holding. So I think it's a little bit unfair criticism. People are just saying he should be sold. You know, and it's like, okay, look, he's a good player to have, a good squad player. He will play in those Carabao Cup games. He is a bit of a leader in the dressing room. He's friends with everyone. I don't think he needs to go anywhere. I really don't. Balogun, apparently injured. Not sure what's going on there. He hasn't been training with the lads. I feel like that's probably quite telling. Maybe he is injured. Maybe it's true, but I could kind of feel with Arteta's body language, he looked kind of disappointed when talking about Balogun. I think he stinks. He's a good player. He's a really good player, and he's got a huge future ahead of him, but I don't think his attitude is what Arteta wants. You can be somewhat cocky in football. You need to be. I think you need to be a little bit egotistical, but when you've had a good season in France and you come back to a club that have so many good, great players, we've got world-class options now. I don't think you really have the right to be saying things like first team or I'm gone, first team football or I'm out. You know, not so sure about that. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it's an injury or if he's just throwing his toys out the pram. Last thing I want to talk about, Fabio Vieira with his goal. I think I've been quite a harsh critic of Vieira, but one thing I want to make clear is I have said multiple times I still think there's a very good player there. He's technically awesome. Like, he's such a good player with the ball at his feet, but he's not physical enough and he's not imposing. He doesn't get stuck in as much as I think he should. But when he plays at a good level, he's good, isn't he? Like, he is definitely a good football player, and he's a good option to have. I still believe a loan would potentially be great for Vieira, but I think Arteta has him in his plans. I think he is kind of like, you know, the Ødegaard backup. What a goal. What a goal. Probably the best goal of the night. I don't think it's as good as his Brentford goal. I think some people are saying it's his best goal. I don't actually agree with that. But it was a really good performance from Vieira as well, which I think he needed. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are getting frustrated with him. But as you can see here, we had a lot of players get minutes, and it was a really good performance. To beat Barcelona, no matter the occasion, whether it's friendly, competitive, whatever, they played a strong team. They've got an incredible defence. They were the best defensive team in Europe last season, right? And we've just banged 5 against them. So very impressive from Arsenal. Much, much needed win after the loss to United, which I think we didn't turn up. We didn't really play the way we wanted to. And I think Havertz in midfield didn't work against their setup. But it worked better tonight, which I think is promising. But thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy my breakdowns. Operation Arsenal is almost back in full operation. We've got one more pre-season game, Monaco, I believe, at the Emirates, and then it is Nottingham Forest in just a few weeks. Back at the Emirates again when the new season begins. Are we going to be title challengers? Yeah, I think we can be again. I think second place is on. I don't know if we can win it, though.